righty. Plan with me is up. Okay. Yay, we got all that done.
Yay!
So let's go ahead and throw out the social. So how's your week of this quarter been?
Little chaotic. Had a lot of things that got backed up between Thursday and today, but I think I got a good chunk of the. I don't want to say done per se, but I got forward progress. So got some movement and some traction.
Cool.
So yeah.
Mine's been interesting. I'll put it that way. I finally cracked the reoccurring theme, reoccurring task list thing, which was a major plan for a major holdup in the digital planner that I make. In Notion. For those that don't know, I moved my business and daily pages to Notion. We're happy with the Notion. We hope Notion gets happy with us so that we don't have to kill it.
We do.
Yeah.
We hope it becomes a happy little tree.
Yes. Otherwise, I'm going to repaint it, and when we repaint it, you never know what we'll paint it into. Hello, Miss Brenda. How are you?
Hey, Brenda.
So, what was your win this week?
Well, I did have my dermatology appointment, so I got very quick and easily, mostly painless, though I'm hurting more now. But that's to be expected because, of course, that numbing wears off. But got a cyst removed that's been annoying me. And it did not take 5 years for me to get there.
No, it didn't. It was very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't have a reset button anymore, though.
I know. I'm fresh out of reset button.
Yes. I guess we'll have to unplug you.
Pretty much.
Oh, well.
Probably to plug in a coffee maker.
Well, normally I would go ahead and just plug it in anyhow and just save us the trouble.
There's that.
Yeah.
No, it'll be my life's support on a power strip next to a coffee maker.
Yes. A Keurig, one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll watch my life support brown out every time he needs to make a pot or make a cup.
Yep. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Emily. Hope you got your planners or your planning devices. We've been exploring planning devices. I'm really liking that Notion can go to the iPad, which I'm having to learn. Last night was my first experiment of it in the wild.
Yeah, you were. Well, there. Welcome to West Virginia. We had a power outage. Yep. We seriously are averaging about one power outage a week.
Yes.
And about 2 to 3 internet outages a month.
Yes. At this point, I'm like, am I living in the third world country? And also, I have to change my decorating style.
Yeah.
We need more sconces.
Oh, and he doesn't mean electric ones.
No.
If it wasn't for your hatred of the gas company, I think we would have gone to literal gas lighting.
They make propane lighting.
Oh, dear Lord, no. Yeah, it's not even winter yet. No. See, for those of you watching on the recap going, well, maybe it was the weather. No. Did it even rain?
We got a little wind and we got a little low temperature. We went down to 39. My win for this week is I did get the house set up for winter.
You did.
Yeah. I mean, is it sealed up and hermetically sealed? No. Could it get us through the winter the way it is? Yes.
Hey, sometimes.
Yeah, welcome to West Virginia. And granted, Joe helped with that. We went back to the big desk, so you guys are going to see some extra space. We had to go back to the command center desk because the little desk just wasn't enough room with the iPad. Like, that was one device, you couldn't have it there.
Oh, you can have all the zillions of candle sconces my mother hung all over my house. She's a touch obsessed with decorating with candles. Hey, you just said, like, happy words to him.
Yes. Yes, like, after last night, I'm like, okay, we can't find the oil for the oil lamps anymore. That was my go-to because those things will light up a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if we just throw solar power on the and a battery bank on the internet, we'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll just go back to the 1800s when there was candle sconces on every wall and it lit the whole freaking room up. I mean,
when we say failing infrastructure in West Virginia, we mean failing infrastructure
in West Virginia.
So yeah. She says, you've been to my mother's house. You know what I'm talking about.
I know. She does lovely decoration. I can very much enjoy her home. Look forward to enjoying it again soon.
But yeah, no, she has a very pretty home.
Right.
Like I believe that was what, the library or the study you were set up in last time?
Study was very nice.
Yes. You could have just left me there. Like that study was big enough. I could just live in that room.
Yeah.
Like she'd never even know.
Yeah, I think she would notice the large cables moving in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she does beautiful interior design. Like Emily's saying, she blows me away in the interior design department. Absolutely.
Yeah. I tend to design for function. Yeah, last night we weren't functioning, people. We were not functioning happily. Because I had been hyper focused on Notion and learning it. I didn't take time to learn the iPad, and you've got to go and set up LastPass so I can get into any goddamn thing.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and flip on. Now, remember, I'm still paper planning my personal life. And this week we've got some stuff that goes in it. So that'll be fun. Window. Yes, it will. Okay, cool.
Oh, Shannon started decorating her door for Halloween, doing minimalist.
Oh,
very fun.
Nice,
very fun.
Very nice.
So I hear skulls. Oh yeah. No, got some masquerade masks up. Gonna paint some sugar skulls. Very cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
Emily's mom calls her style early attic because it's all garnered from thrift stores and church sales.
Yeah, I can understand that. I call my style very functional, and we went very minimal.
Well, we had to reduce down a lot.
Yeah.
Like your dad and glassware, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And china sets. Let's not forget your grandmother's china sets.
Well, no. We didn't really have all that many dishes. Like, now the house in Princeton did.
Yeah. Like, a lot of those could have came on down. And it's like, no,
they were not. No. Like, I was never so happy as the day that we took all the plates to the church.
Yeah.
Like, it made my little heart pitter patter. Because no.
Yeah.
Not interested, like, dear sweet Jesus. Well, now, okay, Emily's pointing out old folks just love their china sets. My grandmother was an exception across the board to this. Her issue was with dishes, like general tableware dishes.
Right.
And there was a whole reason behind that, and we'll get to that in just a second. But now, as for her china set, and glassware, all of that was from her mother, and she hated all of it.
Right.
She did not like she did not have like she had it because her mother gave it to her.
Right.
That just like was not her thing. Her mother dearly loved gifting her, and it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it was beautiful. Her mother had good taste. At least for the time period, you got to take it in context. For the time period, it was gorgeous.
Right.
Now, moving forward in time, it was not as appreciable.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
I think your aunt, her sister, had wonderful taste.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there were well, and it may have been that the two of them like went together.
Right.
But no, I mean, she had really nice stuff, and I know that most of it came from her mother. Is what I'm trying to say, and I'm pretty sure the China set was from her mother.
Right.
But no, she was not. I swear to God, there was a point in time I think she wished the China cabinet would just magically fall over, and she could just be done with it.
Right.
And like there would have been no love lost. Because she hated cleaning it. Because it never came down because it was such a nightmare.
Right.
To clean because none of it's dishwasher safe. All of it has to be hand washed. And you had to hand wash it delicately.
Right.
Because it is lightly gold edged. Use too much force. Meaning like you breathe on it hard. The gold edging would come off.
Right.
So it was one of those very dainty, like, for the love of God, don't harm the china.
Right.
So very rarely did she want to ever touch it because you had to pre-wash it, use it, wash it again gently all the way through, and then put it all back up after it dried.
Right. I have to give grace to ours. Ours is dishwasher safe. It's not a non-breakable. Like we broke the meat plate. But
yeah.
Yeah.
It's had some moments.
Yeah.
But now as for tableware, yeah, my father created that insanity.
Yes.
They like my father was a tiny child and went running through the house and knocked over the one stick of furniture, as she called it, that we actually owned. And that was this little cupboard thing where she had all of her tableware, mixing bowls, you name it, all crammed in there. They didn't really have a lot, like cups and glasses, and all of it was in there. And he knocked it over.
Yeah.
And I don't think she ever forgave him for that.
I wouldn't have.
Because technically my grandfather was the disciplinarian. But that day he had to pull her off of him. Off my father because she was so enraged.
Yeah.
And she tells the story. She was ready to just beat the life out of him.
Understandably. All right. So I know everyone is doing the spooky layout. This week we're not doing that. We'll be doing our palm layout because Lord knows that we should probably have already escaped this bird. But first, let's take a look at our 3-card for the week.
Yes.
All right. So first up out of the gate, we have the Emperor. So we need to be fighting those conditional structures. By midweek, we may be looking at taking a run for the money and rushing into something. We might not want to do that because we need to be looking at our money and being very watchful of our financial goals with the Page of Pentacles hitting.
Good deal.
So it looks like it's going to be a good week, kind of fighting the urge to fit ourselves into boxes before we rush into things. All right.
Oh, yeah. So Shannon went with cost-effective Moroccan tile design tableware. Oh, Mom always wanted those brown flagsgraph, excuse me if I mispronounced that, plates in the 70s, but they were too expensive then. Are those the ones that like they're brown to black, and it's this like, I don't know, it's sort of like if you did like brown black tie-dye almost, not quite but almost. Because if so, Mom had so much of that. My very butch cousin, she gave her a rosy set of dishes, and my cousin was just like, the fuck do I do with this? I was just free dishes, use it. Emily's always wanted the funds to commission a fine dining set of stoneware from an Appalachian master potter. Ooh, that sounds gorgeous.
Yeah, I think if we replace our china, I'm going with that very. The ones I want are the ones that are the black square set.
Oh, yeah. You were liking the... Oh, yeah, no, not at all what I was thinking. Okay. Gotcha now. Yeah, no, that's totally nowhere near. Gotcha, Emily. But those are gorgeous. I could definitely want those. Oh, Brenda wants a set of the Polish pottery dish sets, but expensive.
Thrift stores.
Oh, Aeson, you'll be shocked. I had my sibling go get me a chili cheese dog from where they work. They said it's beef dog, so I should be safe.
Yep.
Way to go, Shannon. Way to go.
Yep.
We'll bring you to the dog side.
Chili cheese dog. I don't know about that. I think you'll like it.
Hey, it's my favorite thing.
I know. I like the full slaw dog, add pickles. Preferably dill pickles.
Either full pickles, like you're not as happy with relish.
I'm not.
Which I think confuses them.
Yeah.
It's because they're like, you mean relish? And it's like, no. I mean pickles.
Yeah. Preferably I like the hot dog wrapped in bacon, but I can't get that in this state.
That is some high-end hot dog.
That is a California hot dog that meets West Virginia.
Oh, Shannon's grandmother did relish fried onions, the crunchy kind, and relish. I understand. I can see that being a good combo. I just have to cheese everything.
I know. Everything needs cheese for you.
Everything needs cheese.
All right.
Oh. So Emily says, my husband hates the brown color, but the plates are just too good to get rid of, and the local consignment shop has tons of replacements if I break anything. Love it. Totally. Good life plans. Good life plans.
Yep.
We're actually using, and my best guess is that it had to have come from my grandmother's sister. Because it just, I don't know. Everything I know about her sister, it just screams it had to have been hers.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way this was my grandmother's doing. But it is the Corel ware in Snowflake.
Yeah.
And I always have to be careful because I want to call it cornflower, and it's not.
No.
But yeah, like that's what we're using, and we've only managed to break one piece. I'm trying to remember what it was. Was it one of the cups?
No,
I know I wasn't really upset about it.
I'm thinking it was a plate.
Oh, was it a plate? Okay.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah,
it was.
at some point we'll replace that, but that one, I mean, it's one of those you can buy replacements.
Mm-hmm.
They're not cheap.
Well, depends on
They're
where
not expensive either.
Well, no, because you can get replacements. I've seen the replacements. So, like I've had to stop myself at, the thrift stores and remind myself that I do not need 3 cabinets of dishes.
True. Like we don't need everything they ever made in the series. But yeah, like the dinner plates are well, and now granted, this is a company that I really loved in Greensboro because they did a lot of community things for the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
Replacements Limited.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally replacements.com.
Mm-hmm.
Is their website. But yeah, they have the dinner plate for $15.99, the salad plate for $9.99. Ooh, they have the nice cup and saucer set.
Better than ours.
Cups. Well, because we've got the weird flat cups.
Right.
That have the detach, like the handles only attached at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But they have the full handle, like actual teacup.
Ooh. Do they have the coffee mug?
Well, I mean, you could use it for coffee, but no, this is before the coffee mug.
Okay.
The super thighs, no, they don't have that.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's expensive because it's one of those sets that, like, God, I think everyone wanted it.
Well, I thought
like
everyone
it's in the
had
top
it.
5. No, everyone had the brown one. That's the one that I always know of that everyone has.
Yep.
Like it was the staple of the 80s. Everyone had the white plate with the brown, whatever the fuck pattern that is.
Right.
But yeah, this was the snowflake in blue, Corel by Corning.
Right.
So it's one of those patterns. It's kind of bright and cheerful and happy without being like, whoa, that's a lot of art on a plate.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
It feels inappropriate to put steak on that. Like, this is like, nah, put your steak right down here.
Well, see, that's the whole point of the dishes. Or I thought the original point of the dishes were. Like, that's how I assume the Clean Plate Club began, because you wanted to see what was underneath your food.
It's not a scratch off.
Yeah, it is.
No, well, see, now I don't know. Maybe no one else has this issue, and I'm probably going to make myself sound crazy. Does anyone else ever have moments where people have really loud dishes, as in, like, they're just art everywhere on that dish? And, like, sometimes if you load your plate up wrong, it just looks really distressing. Like, I don't know, like, some plates are, like, you either have to completely fill it up and cover the entire surface so that it doesn't get weird. But if you try to be cutesy with it, like, it looks like your steak has wings or leaves shooting around it, or it just, I don't know, like, or the colors don't like go with most meals, and it looks weird.
You
Or
know,
like
you
mashed
played with
potatoes
that.
look odd.
Yeah, you
Like,
played with that.
oh, what?
Well, the red set.
No, that was a solid red tableware.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You played with that.
What do you mean I played with it?
Meaning you used like the color of the plates for like for digestion or to increase eating or
Yeah, I bought them specifically because my grandmother had reduced eating, and I ran across an article that had said, that red is an appetite stimulating color, and that like red tablecloths, red tableware, like trying to is an appetite stimulant.
right.
So I was trying to do what I could to kind of trick her into eating more, because she was losing, which, I mean, it's not like she was horribly underweight or something. It's not like she dropped to nothing, but she was, steadily decreasing how much she ate,
Right.
and occasionally getting concerning with how much, or how, more importantly, how little she was eating and how she was eating.
Right.
So I was trying to like
Right.
work any angle I could.
Yeah. But no, that was my point. Was that, you played with that. What was the results?
Well, with that, it did seem to work a little bit. Like, I don't think it was worth exactly buying the plate set just for that.
Okay.
I mean, but averaged over the years that we had it, and dear God, they were unbreakable.
Yeah.
Like, they took a
Heavy.
beating and kept on going. Because like, they were heavy.
Right.
Heavy duty plates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe it was worth it, or well, I mean, it probably bought her a little more longevity there. So, and I don't know. I got a little peace of mind. But again, all anecdotal. It's not like I sat there and measured. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brenda points out supposedly that's why red was in a lot of the old diners.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Shannon's dropping links.
Yes, she's showing off dishes that she wants.
Oh, but yeah, I know. So now you were saying it was the black square. Are we talking about the black and red, or just the solid black?
Solid black.
Okay, and is that the flat black or the gloss black?
I think the flat black.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to process through, because we've looked at a few different sets of dishes.
Right.
As well as I've seen a few different sets of dishes and had a few sets of dishes over time.
Well, I'm sure you've had this set. Like everyone had this set.
No, probably not. I've gone through a few sets of dishes. I will say, like, I've had some that made it and some that did not. I will say, like, Target is no longer my favorite place to buy dishes. They have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sets.
Yeah.
But they're usually fragile.
Right.
Like, they're very thin, easily broken.
And private.
Okay. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't have those.
Yeah.
So that's the Stone Lane Grace 12-piece dinnerware.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's cute. It looks like bento boxes.
Yeah.
It's very cute. I like it. It very much screams trendy restaurant.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. Like, they're very gorgeous. Like, they're
but that's big. That's adult wear.
What do you mean that's adult wear?
Well, when you have adults and not pets, and I think one of my pens is busted.
Ooh, yes, it is. Oopsie.
All right, so let's do this. Let's try not.
Find the culprit.
Well, we'll find the culprit after the show.
Oh.
So this week's going to be kind of crazy. I'm going to Charleston during the daytime. My doctor's trying to kill me.
Hey, Gwen.
Hello, Gwen.
But no, that's a pretty set of dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we've looked at a few different ones that were square or square-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we get those, do you want the
Bingo.
Found the broken one? Oh no.
Anyway.
Oh, Gwen says Friday the 13th. LOL.
Yes.
It is.
And it's a new moon the next day, the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so when you get that dinner set, do you want the iridescent silverware to go with it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And the table.
And the table?
Yes, there's a beautiful marble table that goes with that set.
When did we start pairing dishware, flatware, and tables?
Why wouldn't you?
I'm sorry. I know that flatware and tableware goes together.
Mm-hmm.
All of that, and glassware goes with tableware and flatware. I understand that. I didn't know we were pairing with tables now.
Yes.
I missed that.
Like,
did anyone else know that? Please, please, please let me know if you knew that. Like, I didn't know you had to either throw out your tableware, glassware, and flatware if you bought the wrong table, or you had to throw out the table and buy the right one.
Ladies, the dishes have to match the table and chairs?
Now, don't bring the chairs into it, okay? I have never had in my life table and chair that went together.
Yes, you do.
Oh, finally, excuse me. Yes, the bistro set we got does have matching chairs. You're right. I do finally have matching table and chairs.
That match the china.
What?
It matches the blue snowflake china.
How does it match?
It's gray, blue, and white. It all comes from the same era.
I did not know they went together. I really didn't. I just learned that this evening.
Oh my gods.
Oh, Brenda's over here backing your play on this
Thank
one.
you.
Of course, have to complete the set.
Yes.
Thank you,
Can
Brenda.
you page the assistant? I need a wet washcloth.
All righty.
Like, there's a whole connected plan to this house that starts off at the bedroom suit.
Well, this is true. That bedroom about drive anyone crazy.
No, I love the bedroom suit. It's just you have to continue matching.
No.
Yeah.
That bedroom suit was made in 1936. I am not even trying at this point.
Oh, I would definitely love to find a couch that's not nice. Right now, we have a couch that looks mid-modern, mid-century, just like the table set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brenda says, seriously though, formal table, formal dinnerware, casual table, casual dinnerware. Then you go by style and possibly era.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I apparently was brought up far under the poverty line that I thought I was under. Our household, it was whatever wasn't broken. Because that's where mom was at. Is it broken?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how broken is it?
See, and I'm not one to keep chipped dishes either.
Oh yeah, no, oh dear God, the amount of chipped dishes.
One of the pens broke. This leaked all over the place. So I'm having to clean as I plan.
Hey Sherry.
Hi Sherry, how are we?
But no, I'm sorry. Well, like the tables did not match mom's or excuse me, the table did not match the chairs. Like the chairs were the first thing I think got busted on that dining room set.
Okay, were they the brown wraparounds?
No, they were worse.
Oh, I love those.
I always called them Vlad the Impaler chairs.
Okay.
Because they were like literally, it was just giant pokey sticks in a ladder back.
Right.
Like it had 3 things, and then they were wicker.
Oh.
Seating.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they were, but near indestructible.
Mm.
Like they were not comfortable in the least.
Okay.
But they were near indestructible. And again, this is where mom was at in her life after 5 kids and a husband that worked construction. Is, can I get it in iron? Like, could I get dishes in cast iron? Can I get flatware in cast iron? Can I get coffee mugs in cast iron? Like, let's just cast iron the house. Like, can I get a sofa in cast iron? Do you make coffee or, excuse me, do you make carpet in cast iron?
See, I am not at that point in my life.
Like, no, mom, I think that's about where mom was at. Like, we were just going to come home and live in a cast iron bubble one day.
I'm surprised she did not start calculating how much concrete she needed.
You're that world. Well, no, she didn't want to give dad a project.
He can't finish a project. There are projects still now he hasn't finished.
Fair enough. But yeah, no. Like, I'm pretty sure she had decided that she was just not meant to have nice things.
Yeah.
Like, again, 5 kids, you just kind of give up.
Well, that's understandable.
It's broken. Like, you don't form attachment. You don't buy nice things. You just, no. This is going to create anger and discord later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're just not attaching. Oh, so yeah. So Shannon points out my memo had 2 dining tables because the family was so big. Adults at the nice table, kids at the beat up one. I know the card table, and was it actually cardboard? Because that's the one my grandmother had, and it had a little cover that originally came with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Brenda says, "Yep, yep, Shannon, kids got the card table." Oh, Shannon, my mom tried to keep our dining room at her house looking like a ghetto attempt at a formal rich house. My aunt and uncle were fighting over her Formica table. Neither one of them has space for it in their house. It's just sitting in her old house now.
I would love a Formica table. Like ours, yeah, but I would love the Formica table. Those things will take a beating.
Oh yeah.
But our family was never that way. Like all the way up, even though there was a ton of us, our children, the children was expected to be able to sit down and have a proper meal and behave properly at the table. And that was both grandparents.
Well, see, one table wasn't going to be doable in my family.
Right.
Like that ship sailed somewhere around kid number 3 for my parents. If not kid number 2. Like especially by the time the last houses were set.
Right.
Like before that there was some hope.
Right.
But the last two, like my grandmother's final house, my mom's final house, no, there was no hope.
Yeah.
Like we ate in shifts.
See, I think when it was that level of family, like all 8 kids were home, and the cousins and the nephews and the uncles and the aunts and everybody was then, we were outside. Like, and it still was like, sit down and eat, but you're going to eat properly.
Oh yeah. Well, no, that was a part of it. Like that was a part of it. Like you could get in massive trouble for not behaving at a table, but getting all of us at one,
right,
singular, non-shift eating, non like kids table, adults table, that was.
See, that was just 4 picnic tables for us.
I don't know. Mostly all we were doing was Thanksgiving and or Christmas.
Right.
So, and it was, I mean, sometimes it worked out. There were so few people there that we could all crowd around one table.
Really?
But like the spacing, like the only year that I remember we pulled everything out of the living room to do a dining room 1-person table was the year we pulled it off. But other than that
was a small meal.
I'm just saying.
I only cooked 1 turkey, 1 ham. I mean, grandfather's bereavement, God, we cooked 6 of each.
Yes. No. Like, well, and both houses, like, I don't know, dining room was an afterthought. It was like, oh yeah, we forgot to build one of those. Yeah. So it's combined dining room, living room. That's what we're gonna go with. And it's like, yeah, you set that up, see how that works.
Right.
Like we staged my grandmother's house that way, but
yeah.
Good luck if the buyer took that intentionally and thought that was livable. Like, because I'll tell them now, it's not.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, Shannon says Monster One said that dining tables are like torture. Everyone's staring, trying to carry on conversation. She nopes out. I can understand that, and sometimes that's more of a family gathering thing. Like if you're at a table with people you don't know very well, and like it's not a very matchy or friendly group of people, yeah, it doesn't work out well. Or if you're sitting beside people that like it's just not gonna work.
Right.
Like y'all have totally disparate interests, totally different ends of the planet, and there is no room for middle ground.
Right.
But now not the most successful dining experience. But I think we had like 20 some people at one table. For a post-event dinner in college. And everyone had at least one thing in common. They were part of that group. Again, we got saddled with I don't know. I wanted to smack that manager. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand seating a 20 top
Right.
is hard enough. Picking the server that is inexperienced, who has, all of their tables on the other side of the restaurant.
Yeah.
It went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Like, that was just, it was, I think it took us like 2.5 hours. And it, like, no one got their food anywhere near each other. The orders were coming out screwed up. I think we got one drink refill the whole meal.
See, at that point, I'm getting up and I'm going to the kitchen because obviously they can't cook.
Yeah, well, the manager on duty that night was just like, what more do you want? And it's like, okay. But the GM later was very apologetic.
Well, apologies are nice.
Because
cash.
Oh yeah, no. I forget what they did for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a lot of fixes made.
Yeah.
But it did have to wait till the next day till I called and said, like, I want to talk to your GM because
this was bullshit.
Like, I understand it isn't an easy situation, and I'm not saying everything had to come out at the exact same time. But, like, it was like, get 3 plates, wait 20 minutes, get 2 plates, wait 5 minutes, just...
Right.
We might as well have gone in shifts.
Right.
Like, but it was a nice evening.
Right.
I will say it was, despite the bad service or the chaotic service. I don't even want to call it bad. I think that poor waitress was seriously trying. But it was just like, she got screwed.
Right.
And yeah. So that was the first, last, and only time 20 of us went out to eat. We refused to ever do that again.
Well, see, that's where you go to restaurants that can handle it, like Golden Corral, Chucky's. All right.
Well, we thought it was a restaurant that could. Like, and they weren't super busy.
Right.
I mean, it's like we went in as a 20 top and they just shoved tables together and sat us. Like, we didn't even have to wait. Like, there was availability.
Right.
It wasn't like we had to wait an hour while they're like, oh God, how are we ever going to seat them?
Right.
No, we went straight in. Like, it wasn't a big problem, but it just went off a cliff.
Yeah. Gonna move that.
Oh yeah, and Shannon's pointing out my family, for the most part, doesn't get along. Like, yeah. And sometimes that's the big deciding factor. Like, you can have a dinner party with people that don't necessarily agree with each other, and you do kind of have to very carefully orchestrate that in, like, where everyone sits. To like it's super advanced hosting I'm not good at. Like, not even
my department.
Yeah, not even trying. Yeah. Not even trying. Like, if we have to do place cards, we're done.
I do assigned seating.
Well, yes, but does that require taking over a wall?
Not anymore. I have Notion.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I have AI that can design it for me.
Oh, okay. Oh. Shannon says I get sick of their shit and set them next to each other and get popcorn to watch the show. That's also an option. However, it can be hard on the dinnerware.
Well, you
And
put the
may
china set you
result.
don't like up.
Well, you know.
All right, so we've gone back to the Clean Mama adapted system. Chaotic sticker sheet.
Shannon says that's when you put the chip set out.
Exactly. And then you get 3 sets of china for Christmas because they all think you're too poor.
So display china, throwing china. Oh, I get what you mean. It's because of the chip plates. They think you're poor, so they buy. Okay. So, sorry, I was trying to run through. I was like, display china, throwing china. What's the third one? But no, now I get what you meant.
Yeah. All right, so we've got the Clean Mama system in. I've decided to move my sugar out of my Notion and back into my personal planner because it gums up the system.
Okay, you moved what out?
My sugar test results.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's just easier to track them in here to see the arc. Because currently I think we're on an arc.
Interesting.
All right. So we've got the assistance work shifts in here. We have the Clean Mama system. You're doing coconut chicken tonight. What are we doing Monday?
Oh, that is a very valid question that I'm not sure I know the answer to. I know we have hamburger. If we want to, did we get stuff to do stroganoff? Like egg noodles and sour cream and mushrooms and
No, we have not gotten that. We've got the hamburger, but I was going to do meatball stroganoff later next week.
Okay. Well, because I thought I was going to do the pad thai tonight, but I can do the coconut chicken.
No, you're doing the pad thai tonight. I'm sorry, I mixed that up.
Okay.
What do you want to do? What do you want for Monday? Remember, our Monday has changed.
Yes, our Monday has changed drastically.
Yes.
I don't know. Do we want to just try doing a breakfast for dinner?
Okay.
Because we should have time to put that together.
And which meat do you want?
You
got vegetarian bacon, kielbasa, or sausage links?
I'm interested to see what you're doing with the kielbasa.
Okay. Okay. There's that.
Like I would have said sausage links, but
right.
I'm interested to see what you're doing with kielbasa.
All right. What are you doing Tuesday? Or what's going in the slow cooker Tuesday?
Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be a slow cooker day.
Okay.
Because we've got, because I have a doctor, I have a telehealth, and we have a show, even though I only have half a show.
Right.
I think, as long as we have a guest.
Right.
I don't know. Did we got the pork, right?
No.
Okay.
We've got something I can do with chicken, or I got stuff to do spaghetti with, or I got stuff to do something with hamburger with.
Let's go for spaghetti.
Okay.
That's pretty quick and easy.
Right. Okay.
All right. So Wednesday's probably a good chicken day.
Mm-hmm. Do you want the coconut then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go with that.
Okay. Thursday, you want your waffles?
Yeah, let's go for that.
All right. Friday.
Ooh, why don't we try the tuna stuff? Because all we got to pick up is tuna.
Okay. It's a tuna mac.
Well, it's a tuna skillet, I think.
Yeah, it's a tuna mac, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on Saturday, that's going to be our out day for the week.
Okay.
And then Sunday is leftovers.
All right.
All right. So there's that. We've got my sugars in. We've got my gym days in. We've got the cleaning system in. We've got all the appointments this weekend. We've got all the scheduling stuff in this week. What else was there that we tracked in this one?
Oh, you are doing weather.
Well, yeah.
But did you add weather to Notion?
No. Well, it's in Notion, but I need it here too. But this section here is going to be my work schedule too. Because this is like all the me section. This is all the where we got to be, and then this is all the household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll put my work schedule in later because it's a little bit topsy-turvy this week. You still have to block it out.
We've got a couple of things that create interference, but
yes. So it will be an interesting week. We'll put it that way. So there's that. Let's see if we got any more of these flowers that go along with this. I don't think we do.
Well, Shannon says we go stir fry one night, squash and steaks another, loco moco another, and potato soup at some point. So what's loco moco?
Yeah.
Or like, loco moco? Oh, she suggested Cajun bean soup.
We haven't tried that one yet. I've got a few recipes that Brenda has sent me that I need to try too.
Oh, yes.
Like, she's always sending great food. I've done the potato soup she sent, and guys, if she shares that with you, do it.
It was good.
It was really good.
We put a hurting on it.
Yeah, I'd planned it for 2 days. It didn't last 2 days, y'all.
It was like one day and a lunch.
Which, I don't know. Do you want to talk about last week? And people realizing, oh no, I live by my meal plan. Don't fuck with my meal plan.
Well, I mean, I guess we can.
Yeah.
That it was definitely an interesting moment because we had a house guest.
Mm-hmm.
And we did sit down on Sunday to figure out the meal plan for this past week, because we knew that there were some dietary potential there, like issue potential. So we didn't want to like plan a whole week of meals and then like, oh crap, you don't eat this,
right?
Or you're allergic to that, or and it had been a while since they'd been over, and it's like we know there's something, but we can't remember what it is.
Right.
And it turned out it was a really good thing because there was a major one.
Right.
So we had to work around that. But yeah, no. I think the bigger realization is that at this point, I'm trying to be nice because I think that there's a good reason that what happened, and I'm not knocking it.
Right.
But it is a major disparity in which, we, like, for budgetary reasons, for organizational reasons, we meal plan and really do try to stick to it as best we can.
Right.
Now, we do flux every once in a while, and sometimes it's just like, we're not cooking tonight.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Like, good luck. But, like, it was a great idea. But this day went so far off the rails, it's not happening.
Right.
But with their work schedule and, like, the being single and, like, different things going on in their life, I don't know that meal planning has ever been a thing for them. Like, I don't think in general they know what they're eating until 30 minutes before they eat it.
Right.
And that's being generous.
Right.
Like, I think sometimes it's an even more impulsive decision, which, if you're single and you don't necessarily have, other people's, like, or you're going with a group of friends to a restaurant, you don't really have to think about it that much. It's not a deep thought. It's not a thing. It does, however, throw a wrench into, like, week-long meal planning.
Right.
Because, like, it didn't really, like, there were two things going on. The other one was, like, trying not to be a super inconvenience. And I understand that. And it was like, no, it's not inconvenient unless we plan a meal that it sounded like you liked and then you didn't want it. Or you were like, it's okay. They can fix whatever. I'll just go out and get something if I don't like it, or if I, get hungry or whatever. Okay, that wasn't the experience we wanted to really create, but okay.
Right.
And then on the flip side was, I think it was overwhelming. To one encounter, like, having to think about 7 days worth of food, or 6 days, I think, technically, of food, as well as try to, what do I want on Wednesday? What do I want on Thursday?
Yeah.
And will I still want that on Wednesday or Thursday? That it felt more, I think they got really stressed out with it.
Yeah, I think they got really, like, I don't know about it, but it's just like, nope, this is the meal plan.
Like, this is the thing. This is what we did. This was the deal.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I don't think people really talk about that much.
Right.
In that can be a major difference, and I really hadn't thought about it. Like, I know I've gone through meal planning periods of my life, and I've gone through non-meal planning periods of my life. Personally, I'm a little more stressed out when I have to, like, have the horrible day and then be like, where the fuck do I want to go to eat?
Right.
Like, I want an autopilot. Just turn on an autopilot for me, and sometimes meal plan.
Right.
For the most part, as long as you're not, like, as long as it's what I would call a legitimate meal plan. And you can just, like, everything's in the fridge, all the veggies are ready. You're just putting it together. This is flipping. Look at what I would call a Lego meal. Like, there's a finished product image.
Right.
There's a list of steps and ingredients, and they're ready to go, minus, like, measure sugar, measure flour, measure whatever. But, like, all of the things are here.
Right.
And we're otherwise good to go. Like, I take comfort and calm in that.
Right.
Versus that moment of, like, oh my God, what do I feel like eating? Where can I go to get it?
Right.
Are they busy? Is there going to be a wait?
Well, see, and the other thing is your brain can only handle 5 things. One of them is breathing. So that leaves you 4.
Now, are you talking about me specifically, or are you talking about the general population?
the human population.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I've always gone with the theory that because there is science behind it, is most people can remember short-term memory 3 to 4 items at a time.
Right.
Especially when they're like, if you're running out to the grocery store for 3 to 4 items, you don't need a list.
Right.
Item number 5 or 4, seriously 4 or more, you should get a list.
Right.
Because what's generally going to happen is our short-term memory will lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you go, well, you can remember 3 to 4 items, it's not that hard. Okay, here's the problem.
Right.
All right, I need trash bags, paper towels, and cooking spray from the store.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 items really have nothing to do with each other, so you don't have an immediate prompt. They just are kitchen items.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got to remember those 3 items. Now, I go get in the car, and I realize that the fuel is low, so I also put in my brain somewhere that I'm going to have to get gas before I go to that doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I get to the store, and, ooh, there's a special on mushrooms. I should pick those up because we'll use that in other meals. So, and so now I got to remember we have mushrooms and I need to figure out a meal that uses mushrooms because these are going to go quick. That's why they're on clearance. Now I continue through the store. Ooh, there's a special on shrimp. Okay, so now that I have mushrooms and shrimp, I know things that I can make. So now I have to remember that I'm going to make, Alfredo.
Right.
With the mushrooms and shrimp. But now that inspires me because now I have to go over and grab either Alfredo sauce or ingredients for Alfredo. So now I have this list in my head. What were the 3 things I went to the store for?
Right.
I've barely gotten in the building and walked in because I'm visualizing it as I walk through Kroger. What were the 3 things I went to the store for? Can anyone tell me? Somewhere in my head, because this has only taken a couple of seconds, I still remember them, but I'm just curious. Because if you expand this into the time it would take to actually do it,
mm-hmm.
You're going to be standing I will almost guarantee you will be standing in the middle of that store going, why am I here?
Right. Exactly.
What did I come here for?
Right.
And the correct answer is paper towels, cooking spray, and trash bags.
Yep. All right, so let's get the weather in, and then we'll switch over into yours, and then I'll show my latest notion.
Okay. I'm sorry, you were asking for
weather.
All right. Well, starting on Monday, we are cloudy. Do you want to just go through and get all the weather stamps and then do the temps?
Yeah.
All right. We are mostly sunny on Tuesday.
Okay.
Partly cloudy on Wednesday. Mostly sunny on Thursday. Mostly cloudy on Friday. Rain showers on Saturday and Sunday.
So I haven't used this one yet, which I'm happy for.
No snow. Alrighty, so Monday is 59 and 41.
Okay.
Tuesday is 61 and 40.
Okay.
Wednesday is 65 and 48.
Okay.
Thursday is 73 and 54.
Ooh, heat wave.
Friday is 71 and 58.
Okay.
Saturday is 63 and 47. Sunday is 52 and 45.
All right, so our worst day looks to be Sunday.
So far, yes.
Yeah, if it holds. All right, so let's switch over. Remove. Add. There we
There
go.
we go. Alrighty, so I do have a little bit of my week set up. I still have some tasks to move forward that didn't get done last week, and of course, one project that I'm still working on, and its subtasks. But other than that, I'm a little bit Ronco.
Mm-hmm.
We already have this set up. I am liking the daily routine items. That little checklist is saving me a lot of time and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
effort. So yeah,
Yeah. Are you
liking that one.
liking the 3 lines upstairs?
Oh, these three up here.
Yeah.
I am. Like, I'm not using them for everything, but I'm finding them a nice place to put it's a perfect place for the invisible schedule, and it is a great place for dinner information.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are items I think get lost on the page otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't catch that.
Right.
So thankfully Invisible put a schedule in for this week. And we have that. Because I know that throws me for a loop if that one's late or non-existent.
Yeah.
Though. Oh, so yeah, no. But yeah, this is actually should be a fairly knock out a bunch of things week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because my Monday appointment is now my Tuesday appointment, because my healthcare provider that I was seeing is currently out on maternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I get to start with a new provider, and their availability was Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're reworking Tuesdays a little.
Right.
Though currently, I think we're okay with that. At least for this month. I know this is going to be the next like 3 months,
Right.
maybe a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of all, I don't wish anyone like who locks in a maternity leave plan to have any issues. I'm just like, you're having a baby. Like, children really are the definition of the best laid plans. Like,
Yes.
they don't like to arrive on time. They like to show up early or late or take forever to get here. And then they tend to be messy.
Right.
So it doesn't always or at least I know that is true in my family. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know.
All right.
So yeah. But anywho, so that's basically my week. Is I will be throwing all the tasks on to this week that I can,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, I actually should be able to knock it out of the park this week.
Yes.
Really look
Looks like you're starting to really move in and get your system down. You were talking about post-it notes working better for you.
Yeah, visually, well, across the board, this works better for me. Because for two reasons. One, we've already talked about in depth, and I have pontificated immensely on the annoyingness of that schedule block
Right.
in here, because it the dots and the times don't, like, they spread apart and then they come back together,
Mm-hmm.
based on where the numbers are.
Right.
Like, the numbers and the blocks don't match.
Right.
So moving over to creating post-its and just smacking them in their rough position actually works better for me because it gives me a better idea, and I'm looking dead on at like what time, and I'm not having to make a judgment call. I'm just seeing it's at 1 o'clock.
Right.
It's at 8 p.m.
Right.
Not that I don't know when the shows are, but it kind of helps with like day waiting.
Right.
As in, can I throw other things on this day?
Right.
Now, I'll have to see how this works long term, because if I do get into a heavy day situation, it could cause me to get really stressed.
Right.
So I may have to do something different if I really have to load down a day with like appointments and different things going on.
Right.
So we'll see how that works long term.
Right.
So yeah, but so far, like with the last couple of weeks, these are working really well.
Yeah.
Like I'm liking it.
Right. And
I got a little artsy with my daily routine, with its, tape in.
I like it.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. I think you got to put your user days in there. And you've got some event like Inner Circles on the 14th,
Yeah, there's still some things that got to move into this one that I didn't realize when I set up
right.
this week.
Yeah. But it's looking nice, and you're starting to get a little deco in there, which is different for you.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like the only thing I have time for is to put the information.
Right.
And that, like, I know mine gets a little repetitive even when I deco. So I'm trying to make sure that, like, I really put thought and effort into that, because I'm going to be reusing.
Right.
Like, if it's a recurring event, I don't have the mental power.
Right.
To devote to, let's create a new design every day. Now, will that change over time? Maybe.
Yeah.
But right now, yeah. Right now, it's a little more function over form.
Right.
So make it pretty, but make it repeatable. Like, am I gonna hate this in a week?
Or not? All right.
No, I mean, I don't want to create something that I'm gonna sit there and be like, oh god, that was hideous. That's one time use. Yeah. You never do that again.
Right.
So I am trying to stick to things that I know I like.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. So let's move into the other world. There we go.
The command center.
Yep. This is the joint notion side of my digital planning experience. And why are you doing that? All right. So anyway, we have the command center. That's the compound board with the joint tasks, like what I'm doing, what I've got for him to do, and then tracking deposits and money flow is real fun. We're working on that still.
Yes.
Goals for the fourth quarter. This one I'm still building out. Because it's the
camera's in the way.
Yeah, the camera's right there. So let's move this over a little. If you go to table view, it shows all the people in here and in progress and all that. That's not the view I'm wanting to create, so that's still in development. That got messed up when I imported a template. It didn't really transfer up what I had built here. So we're going to be working on that. But our achievement this week has been the weekly worksheet. course, I have my 3 widgets here. One is the weather, because the weather is majorly important. Yes, Dark Knight. Yeah, that is very fitting for me. That is kind of my
We've
mantra
been waiting.
for a while.
We've been waiting.
Yes. So the rest of the planner will go into Dark Knight phase, and I normally like the dark mood. We do have the built-in calendar. Let me click that. All right, so we have the calendar that is syncing with Google every 20 minutes.
Mhm.
It'll sync my calendar and everything in it. It kind of works really nice. And then quick links to like the quarterly review, the monthly review, the weekly reviews. And then the other thing that has been the battle has been this task list, which is actually a database in itself. Now, there are many out there that flip down. Task. There's a lot of people out there on YouTube and has templates built, and you can download them. And every one of them I found did not work. Like it was supposed to auto reload, and it just didn't work. So let's add a cover. This is the things that I like to do, is I can quickly unsplash. I've got some images, and I can upload those that are a little bit better of him, so I'll use those later, but we'll go with this. You can reposition it to bring it down some. There we go. All right, but anyway, this is my task list for the day. It auto renews, and it's got like monthly stuff and weekly stuff added in there. And you can change the view, like if you wanted to see it by calendar or whatever. I don't, because it's a database that actually feeds my daily worksheet, which is my home base. And as things go through, because we're on a calendar block in here, you can just check them off. You know, after the Google alarm goes off. I love that I can just implant my playlist, which if you're on the Patreons, you get access to Aeson's playlist. Yes, I listen to this normally every day. No, it is not meditative music. Another widget I'm installing here, and that's what this little slash mark is for my to-do lists. Not my Pomodoro technique. It'll go right here. And then down here is going to be links to a journaling database that I've got to finish building. You guys can wait and see what happens with that next week.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you also had, or I think maybe I misunderstood. Did you finally find a way to do the counters for like the different networks, and like I got 5 calls here, 10 calls there.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I figured I'm working on that. That's a formula that I've got to go and learn how to write. It's been about many years since I've played with databases, and Notion has its own language. So I'm learning how to do the language. But let me go.
Is this one of those moments that if you could just select star from, and just write a SQL statement, it would be easier? Or is this just one of those moments that like, no, probably
not? It is a statement, but you've got to make the statement interlink with the databases. And it's a little complicated. And then the other problem is, and this is
Shannon says it's shake your booty, make that money music.
Yes, it is.
Pretty much, yes.
Pretty much. But the other problem is I guess Notion done an update around around July of 2023. And when it done that update,
Oh, it broke a lot of things
it
that
broke a
people had
lot of
created.
things.
Oh, wow.
And
Well,
with
that explains it.
yeah, because that's the only thing I could come down with. Like, this is the only way this doesn't work, is that, you know, it apparently cannot work. That looks nice. Da, da, da. Is that because I've tried like a ton of templates. Like my delete box is huge right now.
Well, yeah. So, in terms of like people picking up Notion and being
Right.
like, this is what, Aeson uses, this is what I want to try to use too.
Yeah.
Do you have any, like, here's your caveat emptor? In terms of before you do that?
One, have a clear idea of what you want. Like, script out the base page. So that you know where you want your things to be. Secondly, create it yourself. Like, go through and learn the basic Notion commands like database and interlink, and use those commands.
Okay.
Because otherwise, when you go and you build, when you go and you pull in somebody's template, you need to know if, like, this one looks like the creator of this one made it sound all good. It was supposed to work really good, and I'm sure it does in their system. Like, here's all the stuff that's supposed to happen. But the problem is it doesn't repopulate like when you check it off, the next day it doesn't repopulate.
Okay, and do you think this was a pre-July, post-July problem?
It
Okay.
was a post-July problem. The other thing, and this is, what I would highly suggest, is to take some time and really delve into a lot of the Notion creators out there and listen to what they say. Because if you guys remember, originally, this was a data page a day. I don't need a data page a day. What I needed was a database that tracks everything. To, like, each part needed to be a database, not one page every day, and you just change pages.
Well, yeah, because at that point, it's pretty,
Right.
but it's not really doing the thing.
Well, not only that, but it's taking up more space.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing, and I think it's Notion automations, they've been fucking amazing. Granted, they're $9 a month, but they bring in the calendar quick and easy. Benefits to Notion, it's on all devices. It's on my phone, it's on my iPad, it's on the computer, it's on the War Desk. So we can, like, anywhere I'm at, I can immediately go into my planner and start putting stuff in. And then, like, if I need to make a note, all I got to do is just start typing, like here.
And it spell checks it.
It does. And then you click here, and I want to turn this into I need that to be a to-do list. There, automatically changed it.
Cool. So now, do you think that free, do you think that free Notion is actually the most, like, do you think most people could get away with a free Notion, or do you think that, like, really the free is just kind of it's a dangled carrot that most people, they're going to blow right past?
I think it depends on what you plan on doing.
Okay.
If you plan on just basic tracking, it's just you, it's not a team. Meaning one or more people. Like, if I wasn't sharing, like, tasks and stuff with you, I could get away with free. But the minute you add that second person, because it creates a second data view.
Okay.
Then
well, I was meaning totally free, because I think there's two different things going on. Is there's like a monthly charge, and then you had a separate charge for the automations?
The automation is a separate charge. It's $9. Okay. It's well worth it.
Okay, so that's a one-time, or
no? That's a monthly fee. Right now we're at $29 a month for planning.
Okay.
Which, we always do what I call cost analyzation.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, that is one appointment a month for me.
Mm-hmm.
How much money is it going to make me? Well, we know from the Fortunica experience that if I'm hitting my Fortunica like I'm supposed to, which is why I'm going to be building some timers into this sheet, then the Fortunica will cover that easily in a day. But I have to be active on it. That's the late fees on the power, water, and sewer if I don't remember to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, how much
any one of those?
Yeah. How much free brain power is it for me? Mm-hmm. Is the other part of that.
Okay. Well, and it wasn't really about, which it's a valid point, is like, is it worth it?
Right.
I was asking just in general, is this something that is Notion something that someone should go into necessarily expecting to be a free experience? Granted, what you're talking about is, $20 of that 29 is the sharing.
Right.
With other people.
Right.
And if you're working in a workspace, it's $10 a person. So for two of us, it's $20.
Right.
And then the $9 a month seems like its real entry point is that and it's like, how much can you live without the automations becomes the real question. Like, if you don't have to share, that's off the table. You don't spend that 20. Well, but is it realistic?
Well, and here's the other thing with that. If you don't need the automation, the reason I have the automation is because I get fed appointments.
Mm-hmm.
We have, if you are doing basic digital planning, you don't have clients booking in, booking out. Like, if you are just network psychicing and you're just planning your network schedule, when you're in, when you're out, you're planning and you've got meeting emails and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, you don't need the automation.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, this is bells and whistles for me.
Okay. So would it be fair to describe Notion, because I keep trying to find good comparisons. So it sounds like free Notion, though.
Right.
Is basically a web version of like Microsoft OneNote. Like, it'll do all kinds of things. You can store all kinds of things in it. You can, place them in different places on the page, and you could use it to note take and journal and do all kinds of cool things.
That's, I don't think, a fair comparison.
Okay.
I think that Notion Online is kind of like the big planner that I used to have, that had 7 different calendars in it, and there was no cross-referencing, and a big long to-do list that you were putting together that huge planner every month. This replaces that.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to see if someone were going in free versus like where maybe that flip over is. Like, if you were doing lots of note taking and journaling, I think freebie would be okay.
Note taking, journaling, planning, I think you'd be perfectly fine.
Okay, if you're totally cool with, like, you build a new one every day.
Right.
On the planning.
Right.
Okay. Versus if you want to go the one step further, like, you're immediately at spend the 9. Just spend
the minute someone else enters into
it.
your planner, spend a 9.
Well, the minute someone else enters your planner, spend the 20. Because if you got to share it, that's two licenses.
Well, no, I'm talking about automation. The minute you have clients coming into your planner, data needing to be transferred in and out, spend the 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious where that kind of dovetailed together, like where the flip point was, and it sounds like it really is. Like functionality.
Right.
Like, are you doing this as a very basic planner, and it just does basic planner things that technically you could do on paper? This is a different way to do it.
Right.
And it's very scrapbooky. Or does it need to integrate with something? And it's like the minute you need it to integrate and do things for you.
Well, because you can do things like this. Let me get a blank calendar up.
Okay.
Okay. Because you can embed your calendar. Yeah, this one. Settings. Where is...
And we wish we were sponsored.
Well, I do, in a way I do, in a way I don't. Like, I will never not entertain a sponsorship.
Yeah, we don't want to just sit here and get paid to say nice things about people.
Right.
Because I don't know. I don't like those reviews where it's like, for your free shit, blow smoke up everyone's ass about how awesome it is. Even when it sucks and it's just like, this is garbage.
Right.
Which we're like, the Notion's been going great. Like it's got some minor things that you're still, working with, to make happy, but it's in no way the like, oh my God.
Right.
But I think there have been, and I know at least I'm guilty of it, of like YouTubers that were getting paid to say nice things regardless. Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a blank, my inner circle calendar. You can embed just the calendar. Okay. And it's just literally, you're embedding it from Google. Like, you can switch it will open up different views and stuff. But it doesn't give you can't go into Notion and go, well, I want to, put something on the 16th here. It's only reflective.
Okay, so basically it's just showing you your calendar. Like it updates if you go into another app, like, your Google Calendar, and you update your Google Calendar in Google Calendar.
Right.
But it doesn't actually let you do things other than like click on an appointment and see what the hell it is.
No,
what's the descriptor?
Yeah, you can see that. Like, that's all you can see. And that's it. It's an embed,
Okay.
But whereas what I'm paying $9 a month for is
pull it all together.
Well, I can go here and go new. And let's go Fortunica 3 a.m. and change this to
didn't like that.
It didn't like that. But anyway, I can add something to it. And if I want to send it to somebody, I can add it to my contact. But anyway, I can add that there, and it's going to be reflected in my other
so yeah, it spreads out and lets you use directly within Notion.
Right.
So you only have, it's one-stop shopping.
Right. Like it automatically go to Google, and here we go. There we go. Calendar name. I want to go to Aeson Knight, and date, and I can even specificate if it's going to, status, syncing status. It'll fill that in, but it'll go there, Google Calendar, and
then you add the end date and end time.
Right. Include time. And I want that at 3 a.m. And 2. So it added, and then if I wanted to put a link, or it had a project to it, like I can fully come in here and label everything about it.
So it also extends it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that all of that goes to Google.
No.
And becomes useful on Google.
Right.
But it does do things for Notion.
Right.
And that's important.
Yeah.
And that's massively important.
Let me see if I can switch over.
So it also kind of turbocharges your appointments and calendar items so that you can add more.
Right. And more detail, more information, where it's at, why it's at.
Yeah.
And at 3 a.m., it's showing it on my Google Calendar. So if you go to look at my Google Calendar, you'll see I now have a new 3 a.m. appointment.
Oh, very nifty.
Yeah. So, and I can go in there and I can make it repeat and all that. But it can link into things in other databases through relationships. We're not there yet.
Wait, where are we at yet?
To building relationships like the psychic plans. Literally, I can have it go into the content database and have the description there and pull it back.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. So you can interlink. So every time your calendar says this, do that.
Yes. These are all broke up. These are all broke up into routines, and those routines will be in my block scheduling that I'm building. That's what I'm working on next, is the block schedule for the week. Well, for the month. And it'll interlink the task projects, and literally I can be having all the information. So there's no flipping between Good Notes and One Notebook and Google Doc, and Notion takes all that in.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Brenda.
Brenda says, we all know when Aeson doesn't really like something. Can't imagine him blowing smoke unless the dragon is breathing fire. She brings up good points.
Yes. Yeah, I cannot pull a Manny MUA.
Oh, what?
Oh my God, you don't know that? Okay, so Manny MUA was taking sponsorships for shit makeup. And literally, it was running off his face on camera. And he's like, this is fabulous.
This is amazing. I love it. It's great. I can't imagine makeup that doesn't run, because this is how makeup should be.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and foundations, crappy makeup. But I also don't do things half-assed. So it's going to take a good quarter to build the Notion, but once the Notion is built, it should operate pretty seamlessly, because I'm also doing a lot of programming for it.
Well, that's sort of and I probably ought not call him out, but if you want some entertainment in retrospective, there is a Cricut creator. I cannot remember his name right now. He's the cute boy. You'll figure it out real quick. There's not many.
Right.
But the cute boy, for Cricut planning, or for Cricut designing,
Right.
If you go back and now retrospectively watch, he was one of the official cricket makers.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an arc.
Right.
Between like, this is all working and makes sense, and I like the products and I can do a lot of things. And then there's like this break.
Mm-hmm.
When like Cricket was doing some weirdo crap and stuff, and he's still having to go on air and create content, and like you can watch him very carefully choosing his words and trying so hard to be like, this is great, I love this, and it gets more and more pronounced over time until that contract ended, or he left the contract, or whatever happened. And then all of a sudden there's whole new content where he's like, you don't need the Cricket official product, you do this.
Yeah.
I don't really love the Cricket product because there's this better thing.
Right.
And it was the same things other makers were coming forward with, but you could kind of retrospectively tell that no, he was sitting there just like, this is crap. And there were a few different makers. He's one, and then there's another one. I just dearly love watching her stuff because she notoriously bites off projects that you can tell it's like, this all sounded great in my head.
Isn't it like Teddy or Tommy?
I'm trying to remember. I know the channel is Maker's Gonna Make. His name escapes me at the moment. Like, it's a cute name, I know that. Like, he's one of those. Like, he's adorable.
See, there's Maker's Gonna Learn.
Oh, where is he at? Oh, I just gotta go to YouTube. That's what I gotta do. But I will say his videos are great, and even when he's struggling, like, he doesn't create content until he figures out how to make it work. So I'm not trashing him.
Right.
I think it is Maker's Gonna Learn. Oh, there we go. Oh, it is Maker's Gonna Learn. Sorry, I thought it was Maker's Gonna Make.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But he comes up all over that. Like, just go to their channel. He's all over the place.
Right.
I'm just not.
Gab.
No, Bell is his last name. Tyler Bell. Sorry, Bell just hit me. Anyway, he's fun.
Right.
He's still a Cricut maker. He doesn't use all the or only use the official accessories now.
Right.
He has voided the warranty. He has voided the warranty. Which apparently with Cricut is really easy to do. Like, it takes next to nothing. Like, you can void that warranty in like 3 seconds.
Right. You know, that's why it took me forever to go to iPad, was because of Apple's warranty.
Yeah, Apple is definitely a company that has issues. Yeah.
Tanner.
But his last name is Bell.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say why I remember that because it's kind of rude and insulting.
That's okay.
Should I share? Guys, I'll let you be the decision makers. Should I? I got taught this horrible trick in college, and it has screwed up my life, and I'm so sorry, Tanner. You also have been caught in this.
No, you're fine. You don't need to share.
Okay, we'll leave it alone. All
Yeah.
right.
All right. So, guys, we hope you enjoy our new format. We do want to remind people that we do have a few Patreons running. One is the Inner Circle. Inner Circle is where I teach psychic classes, life coaching classes, and Wicca classes. It's a very active Patreon, but we have one over here that is our baristas, and our baristas are awesome. They're the ones that are sponsor us to make the content, lead us in kind of ideas and thoughts, and sometimes ideas for dinner, and act as my accountability partner sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, so yes. Oh, sorry. I was supposed to be reading. I thought you were going to do the thing where you put me on the spot and I have to tell them what all they get. I'm sorry.
You can.
So of course, let's thank them first.
Okay.
So of course we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Tracy Van, Caitlin Bell, and Devin. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit PCSPnetwork.com. Now, when you go over to our Patreon, you'll find out that we have 3 levels. There is a 4th one that is for corporate sponsorships, but for general baristas, you have 3 levels to choose from. That is tall, grande, and venti. That starts at $1 a month for tall, $5 a month for grande, and $10 a month for venti. Now, in each of those, you will be getting an end-of-video thank you during credits, your monthly station meeting, access to our private Facebook group, free access to all virtual classes, free ticket to gallery readings, early access to videos, and early access to daily tarot and daily affirmation. Now, what's different between each of these is for the $1 a month, you get a 25% discount on a private reading with Aeson Knight. For $5 a month, we bump that to a 50% discount. And at $10 a month, you get a 75% discount on that private reading with Aeson Knight.
Yes, and then also Patreon has released some new things, and of course our patrons are going to get the benefits of it. Plus, you also get other things like special content. They get photos and postings that the normal public don't get.
Oh yeah, we have so much fun in that group, though.
We do. And on Patreon itself, but also Patreon has redone its thing. So you're billed when you join, not on the first of the month unless were already a patron when that change went through. They're also releasing a virtual shop, so be looking for things to go up there. You can also follow the Patreon, but not join the Patreon, so you don't get the benefits, but you can at least get the notifications, because we apparently have notification problems.
Yes.
Yep. So we'll be building out the shop here soon. It's on the task list.
It is. Yes.
Yep. Yes. All righty, y'all. We hope you've enjoyed tonight. And we will see you on Thursday with a guest the first part of the show. And then Joe comes in to help us decide if he's an asshole this week or not.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
Oh, and you forgot to say on Friday, we forgot to poll result.
Yeah, the poll results were no, you weren't an asshole.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys.
Alrighty. All right, guys. We will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.
Bye.